All right. Elderlicht, Apocalypse 6. Our white whale of the moment. I think Leapfrog and Celerity are important. I like my engineering and my siege. I like my advanced training. I like my dexterity. I don't think there is a combination of omens that I prefer. So let's get on in here and let's hope for some good heroes. You know? I hate to blame it on RNG, but I feel like when you start to flirt with Apocalypse 6 Elderlicht, you need some passable heroes to enter into the equation for everyone's benefit. Now, I do think that this is also the first time that I'm trying to defeat Elderlicht with the heavy corpse pile strategy, and I do think we need to modulate it a little bit. I think we need a slightly larger base because I think we need to be building gold mines in order to offset the fact that we're not going to get great corpse knights every time. So we'll be thinking about that, but let's get to know Wanda. Wanda here is a noble aggressive mystic who is rocking the plus energy sword. We don't mind that. Sword is a great mobility weapon, and we can translate that into a momentum build if we so desire. This hero, though, this hero could go poison multi-hit, I think, very effectively. It could also go crit build. I think there's some options for Wanda. We'll see what the other two look like, and then we'll come back to Wanda. Now we have a defensive expert with some poison on the side. I think we could do a poison multi-hit build here. Like maybe we go for a regular multi-hit build here. We could go, well, but we don't have Mana Collector here. Not having Mana Collector makes this one a hard one. Decisions. This looks more like a poison multi-hit hero to me. Okay, so I think Studs is getting that PMH. None of these heroes are lining up perfectly with what we're hoping for, I don't think. Too many poison things. Too many poison people. I think I am going to go back to like a bit of a power leveling equation with Nico. Like I see Nico as someone who, with Genius, Vulnerable, and Farmer, we can get some serious levels out of him starting early. And then we can kind of build into something. But like the Genius plus the fact that they have defensive training and Avid Learner. Yeah, we're definitely on the struggle bus. We only have one person that even has inertia. And that's Nico. And I don't think if Nico's hanging around night like 7, 8, we've done something terribly wrong. And I think I'm going to go regular multi-hit here. Like crit multi-hit. All of them are blood mages, but only 2 of them have vampirism. And Studs is lacking bodybuilder. And Nico is lacking organic armor. Generally dagger hand crossbow is my combo for poison multi-hit, Jason. Yes. Okay, so it's going to be a multi-hit, a poison multi-hit, and that. But these first few nights, we're just going to be kind of like, you know, doing whatever we can. And especially this first night, it's hard to get things dying in here, but we're just gonna go with it. Hopefully runners aren't the X factor here. Well, maybe runners is a good thing early on. We'll see. I guess this night is always the same, isn't it? I do forget that sometimes. Oh yeah, never make your first action filling up your movement that is not a thing. Let's see, now you... Can we... I think we can get... I'm going to try and get in here. Does that gets vision. I want to soften up this accursed. Oh, come on. Give me some line of sight here. Give me some sugar. I am your neighbor. Dude, actually, I guess the mist sensors block. Yeah, so, well, maybe we can get rid of that and then come to, like, here, and maybe there's, like, a little bit of a... No. All right, well, we can... I think if we get rid of him... Now we can soften up this accursed. Because we have enough runaway capacity here that we can do this. I think I'll take a hit. I think that's fine. All right. I think that's our first turn. Now let's see. I think if I move you to here, now we can retreat a bit. And then I don't think we can do any better here. What a party the first night always is. Now if I move all the way to here, hold on a second. Trying to figure out the walls here are very inconvenient. Yeah, that's a guaranteed kill. If I just jump over, can we soften someone up with this? That is softer. Let's see, any more bow shots? Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm going to try and alleviate some of the pressure just by tossing out a couple of stuns, but unlikely to make a huge difference. I noticed watching previous attempts, most nights you have max panic, so why leave corpses or even build walls inside the base? Buy more time. Yeah, Tarak, I think that's actually something that I'm going to start to employ. It occurred to me as well, but I think that's a very eloquent way of putting it, that I'm used to sometimes being able to eke out better than max panic, but I think we should plan for panic this time, which is an interesting kind of way to proceed anyways. Let's focus a little less on... Actually, we should do that. Let's focus a little less on trying to eke out any type of like good result. I think our best bet here is just to try and survive and utilize what we can to make that happen. And I think that's a death ball. I think that's also some walls. A quick similar question. Is it possible on Elderlicht Apocalypse 3 to try and defend the maximum wall perimeter? Absolutely, Jason. If you go back, my first wins on Elderlicht were absolutely exactly what you're describing. Using the seer, keeping things out, killing things outside, I think is not only a reasonable way to play, it's possibly like like the right way to play, if we're being honest. And, you know, I hesitate to use the term right way, but at the end of the day, what we're doing right now is more like a curiosity than anything else for me. I want to understand the limitations of corpse strats, because I'm a huge proponent of them, right? Oh, that's dirty right there. That is dirty. 1, 2, 3. So let me see what I can. Yeah, I think that it is smart to play under the assumption that, like, I think the way to start out playing this game and get good at the game is through utilization of the seer. I think it is the most risk adverse. It's kind of the way the game was designed to play, and I think it yields good results. I mean, I really like playing this way. I can't point at it and go, it's the correct or best way, because it's a bit of a struggle at times. I'm gonna use this just so I can take you down a notch, and then I will dodge myself up. All right. This is a weird question, but aren't there usually more accursed? Like, this seems like very few accursed. Like, only getting 2 on the first night here seems like weirdly generous by the game. Now, granted, we have a lot of enemies, which I think means that the budget was like differently allocated. And I'm feeling that a little bit. There feels like there are a lot of enemies on the map right now. So I'm not entirely without complaints. Let's see, what's the... This looks like a decent second one. I guess we already had some stuns there, so it probably was not the most effective. Okay, so it looks like we're defending relatively well. You're gonna move to here, I think, and we're gonna give you a watch out. And then I think that's all she wrote there. Okay, so I do not love this accursed. I think we learned last time, rather fascinatingly, that accursed prefer to attack buildings over anything else, which is quite lovely of them. Let's see, I need you to take a step away, because I'm gonna unleash a propagating stun that away. Beautiful. Wow, that potion of speed went quick. I think we're gonna have to watch out there, I think, just to avoid death. for lack of a better descriptor of the thing that we are trying to avoid. What do we want? To avoid death. When do we want it? Any old time will do. All right, that's gonna have to be good enough. This is still a lot of enemies though, for sure. Oh, the fact that I put watch out on that guy and we still had that happen is outrageous. We'd like to keep the scavenger camp alive, but it's a bit of a problem. Now this has a path where it can go do some things, so that's fine. I'm burning through mana on our longbow for sure. But I think that's par for the course. So you have 2 actions left. We could do... I should have used the damage potion sooner, actually. There's not really a great person that I can kind of like leap over, so I think I will armor up. And with 1 action left, I think we just take someone off of this. I don't really care much about the seer. Honestly, like, I'd rather keep the scav camp alive. We are going to take some hits on the spell. That's okay. It's going to be an exciting one, that's for sure, Jason. Yeah, now is when we need to start defending the last spell. Might be asking yourself, wasn't it previously also the time to defend the last spell? The answer would be yes, for sure. But, you know, such is the way of the world. Let's see. These two should be reasonably good at blocking for us. And then our longbowman always struggles with just securing kills, so I'm gonna mop up as many baddies as I can here. The hardest challenge in the game yet, because like from what I've heard from previous streams, Elderlicht being the most difficult, and even over the last map, yes, agreed wholeheartedly. I think that Elderlicht is the hardest map. I think Glenfine is really fun from like a flavor perspective, but let's see, what's the plan here? I think 1, 2, 3. So maybe we kill that guy. So we can get you moving. Ooh, those turns go fast. That's for sure. We'd also like to not lose the store. That would be a reasonable goal. But I don't think we can do much better than what we've done here. So a tip, if you're testing something at a night, you can Alt F4. Yeah, Turok, I don't love... that feels a little cheesy to me. I was ready to do it yesterday with an Across the Oblivion, or Across the Obelisk run. because I made a fatal mistake. But generally speaking, with the last spell, I prefer to take my lumps and play a little more honest, since, you know, at some point, like, you know, we're at 3.3 million tainted essence. We've kind of done all the things. Like, we've beaten Apocalypse 6 Elderlicht once, although it was before the achievement reset. So, you know, back in the before times, etc. Wait, hold on. Can I already get around you? Okay, let's get you sorted. And then I should probably take a look at how we're doing. You made a clippable mistake, so it evens out. If I make a clip, that is perhaps the most difficult challenge of all. Is that now I have to actually make a clip, and it has to be entertaining. Which that one was just such an agonizing facepalm. Let's take a look at kills really quickly just to see if I can funnel any. 34, 29, 34. So unsurprisingly, longbow. We want to get as many kills with it as humanly possible. It's so hard to make the longbow sing, for lack of a better description, just because it's so... It struggles so hard with having, like, I don't want to spend 2 mana and 2 movement to do a snipe shot, which means I really only have 4 attacks. Well, so Turok, I actually, in that moment, I actually asked if there was a way to cheese checkpoints in Across the Obelisk, because I was in a store and I bought like some snap thing that I was like, oh man, we need a pair of gloves, and then only then did I realize that by buying a pair of gloves, I missed like the run-defining item. That was like the item that we had been hunting for endlessly. So I was like, can I Alt F4 right now? Would it reset this? And everyone was like, nope, it will not. So, womp womp. Also, these 3 guys, they're taking our wall down, which I guess is for the best. I just realized that Nico is the person we're supposed to be pumping XP with, and Nico's the one with the longbow. That was probably in error. You can Alt F4 only on nodes that you just entered, not shops that you get from trials. Yeah, so that's the thing. It's there was a tiny iota of hope after I made that mistake, but not enough. There was not an option, and so our run was still good, but it could have been better. All right. So we survive the first night, and give me some mountains. Those are some mountains. Now, like I said before, we're going to take a slightly different tact here. This house, I think I'm going to destroy all the houses, which is like, in and of itself, a little bit of a spicy play. So I was looking for something very exploitative, I will say, Turok. Like, you know, I had made the mistake that I had made, and I was scraping and scrounging for any possibility of a reprieve because I had made such a dumb mistake. Like I could sneak one here if I move this. I don't think. So my goal is I want to get 2 of these, but we need to get our houses going, and I think so let's see. So okay, let me plan this out. I'm gonna put a gold mine there, and so then I want to put like a house here and a house here. Where are we getting attacked from next time? Okay, same angle, so we can leave some corpse piles to alleviate things. That gets us our second one of those. We can leave these houses kind of suboptimally arrayed, I think. Let's get our first gold mine. But then I do... Uh-oh, we may not These two are properly positioned, so I can technically sell those. I think... I think I misplayed this one slightly, so we're gonna be selling some mediocre stuff to try to scrounge back. I don't remember to use potions anyways. So let's see if that's enough to get us our other house. We can always buy this stuff back after we do the upgrade and then spend the 2 workers on more gold. So that gets us our second gold mine. And it looks like we can put another thing here. But I am going to need to figure out where the houses go. Like, because I think this house moves up 1. Because we could put gold mine here, gold mine here. This is an interesting change of strategy for me. So bear with me for a moment here. I think we put a gold mine here. And we are broke as the day is long. Fair enough. But we have enough to get a few ballistas. Yeah, these houses I'm going to leave in the back 40 for now. But we're gonna try this new strategy where I'm not going to destroy I'm not going to destroy things. We're gonna try and go at this with no second weapons. Feels hard, but we do have our ballistas now. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a bit of a risk. I do want to avoid like the very front row here of ballistas or of corpses. This one I'll leave, but this is going to be very interesting, I think, because we're going in without our second one. Let's start with Nico. Show me some XP back here. We'll take stun chance. Take movement, and we'll even take armor. Little damage, I think, though, is probably what the doctor ordered. And then we'll grab fatality, and we're going to grab defensive training, because we're going to try to funnel experience into Nico, which means that the ballistas are going to need to do a lot of work. Now you, my friend... We have mana growth, but then we have crit runes. We had a very interesting discussion behind the scenes on crit runes. Your regular multi-hit. Cherry picking isn't terrible on a multi-hit hero, but I think, especially since we're not going to have mana collector, I think a big mana pool is important. So we'll go with that and avid learner. We're a little sad. I guess I should have planned out our builds here. Yeah, so basically the level of the heroes that you recruit in the inn is based on the level of your heroes. So I'm gonna mainline Nico, who doesn't really have a build that I'm excited about here. I'm gonna push him in the direction of just being focused on leveling up to see if we can get some higher level recruits a little sooner. Is the thought process. You're poison multi-hit, so we like these 3. Then Sadist is a good one. We could get by with Initiator. I don't usually take Initiator. Those who have hung out here know that is not a normal part of my build. But yeah, we'll do something like that. I think to start, we're not going to be taking advantage of either of these. Oh, we could take... Hold on. We could take Stunning and... Contaminate, and then we could swap the longbow here, and then at least we get some benefit out of stunning. And then over here, studs being poison multi-hit. We don't mind some opportunism, but we're really looking for... Isolation is good. We want We want to see stun over here. Experience gain, a big experience gain one. I think I'm going to let that go. Perhaps controversial choices there, but... And then Wanda for multi-hit. Let's see. We kind of want both of those if we can get some health to offset it. Then we'll pick up Lone Wolf. We'll pick up Crit Master. Flexibility. Sheer Power, Big Game, and Legendary Assassin, I think, are the correct choices. Initially, we'll take XP, though. And then for you, show me some damage, but also show me some crit, please. Big movement, I can't say no to on Elderlicht. Range damage is fine because we are going to be aiming for a hand crossbow. Oh, you already have trinket slots. Oh, nice. No runic gift and trinket slots. That's a good combo. We struck out pretty hard there. Propagation bounces probably would have been the correct pick, but all right. Let's do night number 2. Pray for me. They really like lighting that torch. Okay, we love to see runners. Runners is great, and we also are... This is going to look a little weird, but here's the plan. I'm going to have our sword person come over here. I'm going to have you move to, like, here. I'm going to jump over you, come to, like, here, and wind walk you so that you make it here. The difference between being adjacent to these and not is surprisingly annoyingly large. And then, actually, let's... You can clear that up. All right. Let the festivities continue. Oh, I missed one back here. That's interesting. I thought there should be 3, and I was like, where is number 3? I think if we stand here, we might be able to get in next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this guy moves in like this, but he can't get around the corner, so we're safe. I think I'm going to move over here just to provide some support, potentially. So this is a problem. I think I have to punch this guy to death because the minimum range... do we think we get this kill in 2? 64? We don't. See, so there's no place I can stand where I can shoot this guy with a longbow. So that's interesting, certainly. Oh, I could go deep here. This is not ideal. For the record, this is what we call in the business not ideal. I think we're just going to take the hit here. I had to go kind of deep on that one. That's a fair hit. That is a fair hit. All right. But we did get the job done, so I can't be too sad about it, or too miffed, or whatever the appropriate descriptor is. I really like Hammer of Light as a mob clear in the late game. The damage multiplier is very nice. Same with Grape Shot. Yeah, Hammer of Light gets very strong. Cove. Hey Doppel, how's it going? Oh, do you think your previously lost runs would have been wins on APOC 5? It didn't look like the bad weapons fire. No, I don't actually think that our losses were in any way the result of APOC 6. I think it was a bad draw of characters coupled with, I think, me not fully having my head in the game, if I'm being honest, while also perhaps a little self-critical. I think that might have been my own undoing. Scav Camp's going to take a bit of a hit here, but I don't think it's the end of the world. But yeah, I think Hammer and Grape Shot can, once your damage multiplier gets a little bit going, both of those can be really exceptional skills for sure. Now, okay, Nico is now here on this one, so let's... Kills that we can get with Nico are worth. I don't think it's worth trying to hit him right now. What is his modifier? 20% dodge? That's going to be a little annoying. 1, 2, 3. I think I'll take this guy out even though he's stunned, so that we can get a little bit of that going on. Yeah, this guy's not coming that far in. Good hits over here, though, I will say. Okay. I guess if we can retreat a bit more, now is probably the time. Don't fail me now, Ballistas. Don't fail me now. The corpses are doing some good work, I will say. This guy has a lot of hit points. I would like to point out for the record the preponderance of hit points that this guy has. I'm trying to get him isolated here. That's the... We're going to move back and hit him with some snipe shots. Okay, I mean, I think we will close the deal here, but this has taken us a lot of resources to get him dead. All right, I think that was still good. Well, I was chilling. That's true. I do like a chilled out game of the last spell. I think this is a great game to kind of relax with. But the higher APOC levels don't necessarily. You have execute. Come over here and thank you. For Pete's sake, like that's just. And then I think we got to get this guy sorted out. Probably should have used... That would have been a good Hammer of Faith to get the two of them, I think. But there are a lot of baddies on the field at the moment. That's my official evaluation. Really? The breakpoints. Have I ever... Yes, I have some bad weapons only runs for sure. They're unsurprisingly not the flashiest runs. You know how it goes. But yes, I have made a point of trying to use every bad or evaluated in my eyes as bad weapon in the game. So, you know, we've done runs with hammers. Hammers actually perform surprisingly well, actually. The one-handed hammer, that is. I think I sleep on it sometimes, but the opportunism modifier on Crush, I believe it is not to be trifled with. It's good. Let's see. I think I need to just get rid of this guy because I need to move you into that spot. Only having one weapon on this knight is feeling a little limiting, but I think the advantage that we got from it is potentially worth the price of admission. I think we'll watch out here because I want to protect this house. And then you over here. I think I'll do that even though we don't need the movement because I think it's good for the dodge. So what am I thinking about here? So first of all, I think leaving the corpse piles and going max panic was probably good. Axe shell plus hammer is pretty good, yeah. And later on, the hammer, once you have crush plus boom, and the fact that crush is a distance modifiable ability is pretty game changing, honestly. I should have used my movement more judiciously there. And then I want to focus on things that I don't think are going to get killed by the ballistas. That guy can keep moving in. We're actually, I think we have a solid amount of control right now. Oh, actually the guy that I missed, that I should have been taking a look at, is this guy here. You've taken more damage, so I'm going to give you the dodge. I'll do that. I'm going to move you to here and you to here. There we go. Two-handed sword still makes me want to join in to claw the wall. So we've talked about this before. You probably were here because you're always here in Lustrous. Appreciate you big time. I think the solution for two-handed sword is surprisingly simple. I think all they need to do is make its primary attack, its 2-cost primary attack, have propagate 1 on it. So the idea is if you were to use it here, it would still propagate 1 tile to here. So it would do damage to 2, just like it does now. But if you got propagate, it could potentially do damage to 3. It would be the equivalent of making it the hand crossbow of propagate weapons, right? Because the hand crossbow is the only no mana multi-hit ability, and I think the game needs a no mana propagate ability. Let's see, Nico, you're our boy, so let's You're my boy, Nico. I'm just gonna finish it. Okay. 2 run ideas. No mana. Don't use abilities that use mana, and an only mana run. If you haven't tried these before, only mana sounds really hard. Like really, really hard to get off the ground to rock. Which is not to say that it is impossible, but like that sounds very challenging. So let's see. We're gonna go. We're gonna go with those 3. 3 mountains is great on this night. I remember your suggestion as well, as our discussion on about how propagate on a sword would not make it a sword at all. I mean, it's already a sword that has something called Sword Blast. So I think it was Jorbs, another streamer, when the 1.0 came out, he looked at the 2-handed sword and he said, Sword Blast. That's not how swords work. And I was like, it's very true. It's very true. So Doppel, I understand that there are a million indie retro roguelikes out there these days, but it's surprising the last spell is relatively unknown given that it's fairly unique. It had a very big initial like burst of excitement. People got really excited about the last spell, which I think is awesome. And then it tapered off. And I think that I hope that when they start releasing DLCs, the fan base kind of comes back to the game. And I think they will if they release like high quality DLCs. But I do think that there was a bit of a missed opportunity because they had Lakeburg Legacies coming out. And I think if they had kept doing regular updates to the last spell after 1.0, I think a lot of the fan base would have hung around. And if they had rolled out things like modding support, it could have been a real game changer. Yeah, and I think that's just because it's a little dead. Like I've seen some success with it, but you know, my streams were, 60, 100 people when the last spell was like at its peak, and now 10, 15 people. Still good, still happy to have you all here, but two-handed sword is like the botched production of a gun that you hit enemies with. I could see that. So I'm trying to decide. We need to relocate this house by 1 tile. God, that hurts. We need to relocate this one by a lot more. Yeah, so Miko, I think it's very... So the model that I hope that Ishtar adopts with the last spell is the model that RimWorld has adopted. So for those of you who aren't familiar, RimWorld is a great colony simulator. And what RimWorld does is they make improvements to the base game, and then they add kind of optional stuff in DLCs. So every DLC comes with some improvements to the base game, like core mechanics and those sorts of things, and some additional goodness that is only for people who buy the DLC. And buying the DLC is a way to support the devs. So I think that's a good model. And I hope that they adopt something like that. So let's see. I am going to destroy this house. I'm loath to do it, but what can you do? And then I'm going to upgrade it, which gives us our scavenge there. But I can't build the other things I want to build. So moving that one was there. I'm probably going to leave this one. I think it's okay, but I needed to upgrade one of them in Lustrous, and so if I upgraded it when it was in the wrong place, that wouldn't have been great. So that was my thinking. Okay, show me something exceptional. I will say none of these are exceptional. Call me old-fashioned. We don't have a momentum person, but the scepter is a pretty solid weapon. If I roll again, there's a chance we don't get a weapon. I think we'll be able to buy weapons regardless, though. Speaking of the red-headed stepchild of all things, the two-handed sword arrives. I may take it. We could also take the cracked crystal for more stun and more XP on Nico. It's a pretty good get. Let's hold off on that. We'll do our level ups. Wanda, Wanda, Wanda. You need crit. Come on, show me a crit upgrade that's not terrible. All right, well, we didn't get totally unlucky, but that was disappointing. We take first blood because we are not yet budgeted for glass cannon. Our people need to take some hits. Nico picks up Avid Learner, and Nico also picks up Runic Gift. Maybe. A propagation damage sword would be hilarious. That stat is dead in the water. I think it could be super cool. Like I genuinely think that if like you could even have the sword be propagation 0. So when you first get it, you just only hit the single enemy in front of you and you have to go from there. But I think even propagation 2, it would be perfect. It might actually, you know, it might be a mod that I make. Like I've avoided figuring out how to mod the game, but like, you know, I am a software developer by trade, so maybe I need to roll up my sleeves and bite the bullet and figure out modding in the last spell. I mean, it sounds logical to me. Lustrous. It sounds logical to me. Let's just get you some damage. But yeah, maybe I'll just do it. I'll need to look into it. Like, there's no official modding support, so it's a little janky, but it might be surprisingly easy because I think that most of the weapon stats are locked in XML files. Like, so I don't think it's particularly brutal. And then Studs, my dude. It's got to be Septic Shock. We're going to try and find him a dagger today. But that means, especially back here, show me some stun. Yes. Show me the stun. That second one was very disappointing. Let's never speak of it again. Womp womp. A little bit of resistance never hurt anybody. Okay. So, shop, be kind. Yeah, I definitely would, Kovacs. If I chose to go to the trouble of making something, I would definitely make a guide for both modding as well as a specific mod. I have, Sam, before 1.0 though. Since 1.0 I haven't played it, so I'm kind of, you know, wandering in. We could grab a mithril sledgehammer. The lack of daggers on this is really getting my goat. I'm gonna grab the energy potion because reasons. 17% stun. It has poison damage. It has skill range. This is a good item. If we can get a dagger, I think Studs will be very happy with this. So I'm gonna buy that for Studs as a on consignment type of thing. Now I'm gonna build some of these. It looks like we're gonna be one short of having really good coverage. I think of the sides we have a lot of houses over here, so I'm gonna hit that one. But this is decent. This is a decent number of those. Now we have some tough decisions to make. None of these weapons are the weapons that we're ultimately going to use. I really like a good battle armor, but I think this is a roll. Okay, dagger is fantastic. Hand crossbow is fantastic. Beyond fantastic, in fact. The sledgehammer is honestly kind of interesting, but I think Studs is going to take those two. Nico, we're going improvised whatever there, and then we need a weapon for Nico. Did we take anything with Nico? We didn't. We have a little bit of stun chance. Is it weird to just pick up a steel sledgehammer? The answer is yes. Yes, it is. We could save a bunch of money and grab this sledgehammer, but let's get Nico a little more damage. Okay, now we have 164 gold. I want to build another gold mine. I think I do. Hey, Happy Panda. To be honest, I'm really not feeling this strategy. I put walls up at the start for the perk, with a perk for the 4th hero, the Wanderer. You know, it's one-dimensional, but this strategy has been successful for me every time. Yeah, so I mean, I've had good luck with that strategy too, Sam. I think there's something to this strategy. I do think the walls go here. Maybe they don't. Maybe we leave the walls. We're letting panic. We're letting panic reign. So let's let panic reign. I am going to grab another gold mine, just to get our passive gold production up, because this night is not going to yield much in the way of corpses. So I think that's a reasonable play. I don't know where the heck I'm going to put this house. Like, it feels like it's sticking out no matter where I put it. But I do agree. I think there are many ways to play this map, Sam, and I'm not saying that this is the right way. It is, I do want to see if I can win with this strategy and what it looks like to win. I think that we have the capacity to kind of snowball pretty hard. So I'm interested in giving it some experimentation. You already have a ton of mobility. Maybe that warp crystal is a good idea. If I was offered an opportunity to join the development team of the last spell, would you take it? Not as a full-time position, Sin. I would love to have some discussions with the developers, and I would love to consult as someone who's played the game a lot. But I want my full-time career to be this: streaming, YouTube, creating content, engaging and creating a community. And I wouldn't derail that to say go work with a specific game developer. I kind of had my crack at software engineering. I did 8 years at Lockheed Martin in their advanced technology lab, and then I did 2 years as a manager of a software engineering team at a communications company, and then I went to Google for 6 years, and then I was kind of like, okay, I think I'm done being a software engineer. What night do I think is make or break for this map, Kovacs? I think it's like 7 and 8 are the big bads. Are we ready? Have we done all the things I want to do? We're a little anemic on. Let's see. So I think I'm going to put you over here, back behind here. I'm going to put you here. I think I'm going to put you like here initially, and then I'm going to loop around. But we're going to have to play this by ear. This is going to be a very interesting night. I think this building is gone no matter what, but we'll let it slow folks down. And I should probably, I'm just going to gamble and put this guy over here to cover this corner and you over here to cover this corner. And if we get stuff down here, it may just be bad. Yeah, in Lustrous, it's absolutely true. I think a lot of people sleep on the fatigue that comes from working in tech as a general observation. It was a high stress job, especially when I was finishing up my time at Google. I was a tech lead of a sales engineering team, and it was just a lot of responsibility, and it was kind of like an all the time, what's the next fire to put out type of thing. But anyways,